Alrighty, we have the level 68 Summoner Quest, Off the Record, given to us by Mitra at Apkalu Falls in Old Gridania. Here we go. I searched through the usual histories, but found scant mention of Sari. Tis as Prin has said, records of his existence have all but been expunged. And since my knowledge is limited to... I got this. I'm sorry. First video of the day. Ow. My neck hurts. Tweaked it like 4 hours ago. And sucks. Maybe actually 6 hours ago. And since my own knowledge is limited to the day I was stored away, we must rely on those lost Allag records that escaped the purge. My colleague, Rammbroes, may be able to help us there. Hardly a day goes past when his team does not lift some forgotten treasure from the ruins in Mordunna. Shall we pay him a visit? I give her a nod. Clicky. Clicky, clicky, boom, boom. Click, click, boom. And with Pegasus, actually, well, random mount just happened to. What is this one? Mount guide. It could be the Yole. I have another bird. Could be. Oh, it's the zoo. This is the zoo. ZU zoo. Here's Rammbroes in his normal spot. To the east and a bit south, you can call it southeast, of Revenant's Toll in Mordunna. Mitra has informed me of your search, and I shall be certain to contact you should our discoveries include any mention of this Sari. There may, however, be a swifter way to acquire the information you seek. I know of a certain merchant who collects undeciphered tomestones with even greater zeal than the Sons of Saint Koinok. Ah, you speak of Rowena. He nods. Oh yeah, Rowena. Aye, we have formed something of a symbiotic relationship with her consortium. In return for financing our excavations, we provide Rowena with a selection of our finds. I'm sure you would find her amenable to a request for assistance. After all, you would merely need to borrow her tomestones for a time, yes? Borrow her. Here, I have penned a letter with my personal reassurances that her stock will be returned none the worse for wear. Is this the Rowena in Revenant's Toll? I think she can also be found in... what's it called? Idleshire? She gets around. Not like that. Oh, wait, hold on. Like I said, I'd like to... if I remember to do it... No, okay, cool. I lost Carby. No worries, I'll resummon. I like to check if that timed node for crystal clusters is here. I don't always remember. But when I do, I gotta do it. See if she's on ground floor. Yeah, ground floor. Hello, Rowena. Rowena is female, human, higher, whatever you want to call it. Could be said to be in her mid-20s, late 20s. Early 30s, something like that. I didn't notice that she has this open leg. Like, you know how dresses have that really long slit all the way up to basically the waist? She has that. White dress, sleeveless. Got a silverish bangle on one bicep. Pretty, and powerful, awesome. Here she is, let's talk to her. Aye, what can I do for you? Hand over Rammbroes' letter. So you've the backing of old Rammbroes, eh? Well, I suppose it wouldn't hurt to lend you some of my tomestones. In fact, I'll do you one better and let you borrow the transcripts, courtesy of the scribes at the ironworks. As books, they're a damn sight heavier, but you don't need fancy machines when it's all penned down in ink and parchment. Give me a summary of the contents when you're finished, and I'll consider that as payment. Collectors will part with more coin if they know what they're getting, and my time's too precious to waste on reading ancient history. Consider it a deal, Rowena, and thank you. Well, Mercy, shall we get to work? I have determined Rowena's voice is a bit lower, and Amitra's is up here. Where'd you go? Oh. I think we found her here last time when we met Prin. Yeah, just about. She wasn't sitting, but she got a stack of books next to her. Nothing in her lap. What, you aren't working anymore? What are you doing? Fancy that. I've barely begun skimming the very first volume, and there are already some promising passages. Let us wake Prin and share our findings, shall we? Cutscene. The little thumping is Prin doing his little hop, like very, very shallow hops. Ah, Rammbroes, have you come to check on our progress? This charming tone is Principia, a sentient familiar of ancient Allag. I thought he had already met Prin. A pleasure to meet you, Master Rammbroes. Pray call me Prin if you prefer. Thank you, Prin, and might I say what a privilege it is to meet such a rare and clever construct. Clever? Well, yes, apparently Prin was written that way. In fact, we were just hoping to hear an opinion on a new snippet of information I've uncovered. 'Twas an order listed in a record of Imperial military communications, commanding that the fruits of the Master Summoner's research be seized. That was in quotes. It appears that the army had more than a passing interest in Sari's experiments. And what exactly was the purpose of this research? Master Sari toiled to wed summoning magics with etherochemical technology. For example, he experimented with replacing grimoires with mechanical mediums and sought to manifest edgy of greater authenticity by utilizing high-speed computations. Simply put, he turned to machines to enhance traditional summoning methods. Is that the gist of it? Correct, but Master Sari was never one to abuse the success of his experiments, no matter how they magnified his power. He would not place his trust in machines. Their inherently complex nature was too prone to error, he said. The dates on these communications indicate a time in the latter half of Sari's life. Is it possible something could have occurred between crafting you and the execution of this order that may have greatly altered the summoner's outlook? There was, of course, the violent wave of anti-summoner sentiment that swept through Allag. It claimed the lives of many of Master Sari's disciples. Following their deaths, he began spending much of his time cloistered within his laboratory. Such an incident could certainly be responsible for changing a man. In Principia, you were unaware of subsequent events once you fell into slumber, yes? From what we've learned so far, 'tis safe to say that the foe we encountered is related to Sari's research in some way. Why is Rammbroes' head so far up in this scene? It's really weird. They couldn't... I don't know, whatever. And there are likely more clues buried in these records. I shall speak with Captain Wolf and ask to borrow the sharp minds of his summoner squad. 'Tis a rather intimidating pile to tackle on our own. Well, seeing as you have the transcripts, there is no need to travel far. You are welcome to make use of my tent and the reference materials on Allag found therein. That would be an enormous help, thank you. Let's haul these books to the dig site, shall we? Is that just me? You guys have both left the books. Just me? Am I me? Me doing it? Me do? Me do, you get reward of me do? Joe, Chocobo Joe. I think I changed keys a little bit. I think I went a little bit flat there. Okay, down here. We find Amitra, Crispin, Jaja Samu, Denise, looking over some books. The stack seems to have grown. It's all good, though. Our summoner colleagues arrived with swiftness after I relayed to them our request. 'Tis well to see them recovered from their injuries. With everyone pitching in, we stand a good chance of finding something useful. Cutscene. Ooh, this is the scene. Ah, dang it. Ah, here's the bugger I was looking for. This is a record of when the military finally caught up with Sari. It says here the summoner was found dead, killed by someone else, it seems, says Jaja. Then we have proof of the original Sari's demise in the Third Astral Era. Now there remains the question of who, or what, attacked us in this age, says Crispin. My coin is on one of those clone creations. Is there aught more to the story, Lieutenant? Says Denise. Jaja nods.
It goes on to describe how the Imperial Army took over Sari's research, lauding his experiments as exceptionally dangerous but ripe with potential applications. End quote. They shifted operations to an artificial island soon after and began practical testing. One cataclysmic accident later, though, and that was the end of that. Everybody's a little bit shocked by that. This artificial island must be a reference to Seal Rock, the very site of our encounter with the present-day Sari, says Amitra. I made Rowena's voice a little bit deeper, and then I thought it made Amitra's voice a little bit higher, and then Denise, I don't really, whatever. During the battle, my creator's simulacrum exhibited the ability to summon multiple Edgy simultaneously, as well as manifest highly authentic facsimiles of flesh and blood entities. The basis for every one of these unorthodox techniques can be traced back to Master Sari's research into machine-enhanced summoning. I'd say we have enough evidence to support a working theory, then, namely that the Allagan military was using a clone of the deceased Sari to perform hazardous experiments, tests which explored the feasibility of etherochemically bolstered summoning magics. And when we landed on Seal Rock, we must have somehow awoken the remnants of those experiments. Nods all around. Mayhap we have solved the mystery of who the attacker was, but now I would know the place to where he fled. What refuge exists for such a being, says Amitra. From what I can gather, the results of Sari's work were bundled off to some secret laboratory called the Etherochemical Research Facility. I believe I've been there. I take a half step back. Everybody looks to me. You know of this place, miss. Is it far? Says Denise. I explain, with my mouth not moving, I explain what I know. Oz's law, if that's where they were keeping Sari's research, then it's possible the clone may have headed there, says Crispin or whatever. Our squad will fly back to Seal Rock and make further investigations. The relics of the past may hold some hint we haven't yet considered. An excellent idea, thank you. We shall return to Gridania for the time being, says Amitra. And there's waves and bows and salutes and stuff, and the three apprentice summoners leave the scene, as does Amitra in a different direction with Bryn. End of scene. Back to Gridania. Welcome to Jamrock, rock. I don't know why I tried to mount. I mean, I do, because it's just habit to want to mount. I want to mount everything. No, I want to mount everywhere. No, that's so bad. It just makes it easier to run places and fly places. It'd actually probably be pretty lovely flying over Gridania. Or Limsa. And Ul'dah maybe a little bit, but probably not as much. A lot of Ul'dah is like underground. Is that true? Yeah, that's true. Not a lot. Well, actually, yeah, a fair amount. But like, practically all of Limsa and Gridania are kind of outdoors. I mean, Limsa does have towers that you are inside occasionally for storylines and such, but here's Amitra to turn in the quest. I've received an update from Captain Wolf regarding their investigations on Seal Rock. It would seem that certain of the Allagan relics have shown signs of recent activation. The mechanisms were too heavily damaged to offer more in the way of useful information, however. I fear we must brave this Oz's Law facility and search for Sari ourselves. Is that what he was hoping for when he said, "I will be waiting"? It is possible. I did not think the detail important at the time, but the lock engaged by Master Sari's simulacrum was not of the strictest tier. Rather, the seal is one which fades upon the sealer's demise. Amitra thinks about this. Then he was goading us into fighting and defeating him? Another challenge? Or is it simply a trap? I'm not fond of rushing into the unknown. Gird yourself for the worst, Mercy, and I will learn the present circumstances of the research facility. Present? What the fuck is wrong with me? 108,000 experience points, 1429 gil, and quest complete. Nanamo, I love you, but I've had you for a while, so let's do a rando here. What we get? The Moogle, the Taoist Moogle, myself, Prin, and Amitra. Thank you for watching. We hope you've enjoyed. Level 70 and final summoner quest coming soon.
bye for now.